was one of the greatest pieces of movie news I had ever heard when they announced that Hugh Jackman was going to be coming in and joining, good Canadian kid, Ryan Reynolds, in Deadpool 3 that later became known as Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, a lot of people thought it would never happen because, of course, he retired the character, Hugh Jackman did, with one of the greatest comic book movies of all time. I easily say in the top 3 with Logan. Well, a lot of fans thought maybe it was a little bit risky to have Logan come back after such a perfect ending. And one of those people that thought maybe it was a little bit of a risky thing to do was Kevin Feige himself, who actually initially tried to talk Hugh Jackman out of it. This comes from the folks over at IGN who wrote the following. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU, mastermind Kevin Feige, spoke about the actor's return for Deadpool and Wolverine during an interview with Empire. Feige says he was just as touched as everyone else when Logan delivered a fitting conclusion for Jackman's take on the mutant hero in 2017. I said, "Let me give you a piece of advice, Hugh. Don't come back," Feige added. "You had the greatest ending in history with Logan. That's not something we should undo." Don't come back. You had the greatest ending in history with Logan. I don't know if it was the greatest ending in history, but that's not something we should undo. This is a strange sales pitch for a producer to give to an actor that they're trying to have come back and play a role. But I think what Kevin Feige said to Hugh Jackman probably resonated with a lot of fans. Because I think there were a lot of fans. I remember reading all your comments that, oh man, but the ending to Logan was so perfect and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to tell you why I disagree with Feige. The reason I disagree with Feige is this. Highlander 2. John, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's the best of the franchise.
Cue the meme, just aliens.
Yeah.
Highlander 2 is why I disagree with Feige. You see, Highlander is it's the most questionable entry that everybody agrees on. The most questionable entry in my top 10 films of all time, but Highlander is in my personal top 10 films of all time. And Highlander 2 is in the unholy trinity of the 3 worst Hollywood-produced films ever in the history of the business. So seeing as Highlander Part 2 is in the unholy trinity of the worst films ever made, you would think that would sour how I feel about the original Highlander. You would think that would take away a little bit of the clips. Finding out the Immortals are just alien convicts serving out their sentence on prison Earth. You think, well, doesn't that undo and take away from your enjoyment of the first one?
Sounds a lot like Battlefield Earth.
It sounds, well, listen. Battlefield Earth is one of the other unholy trinity. Listen, the unholy trinity of the worst Hollywood wide release producers films of all time are, in no particular order, Highlander 2, Battlefield Earth, and Catwoman. Those are the 3 worst Hollywood wide release films.
What was the last one?
Catwoman.
Oh,
Halle Berry's Catwoman. And I love Halle Berry. But the point is, it didn't take away one single slightest ounce of how much I love that first one.
You know, we talk a lot about Highlander for a movie that didn't even make $6 million at the box.
Oh, I know. Who wants to live forever? But and here's the thing. Hey, how much do I love the prequel trilogy?
A lot.
Oh yeah, a lot.
So much.
Flaming piles of dog poo.
Most of you don't know this. John actually has a tramp stamp of I Heart Phantom Menace.
Yeah. And right above it, I love sand.
Yeah.
Right above it. I hate it. Ask me how much that took away any of my enjoyment of the original trilogy. None. Not at all. It doesn't undo anything you do later does not undo what was done before.
Yeah.
And so
That's what I try to tell all my friends.
I am in full agreement with everybody that the ending to Logan was damn near perfect. But that will always be there forever. If they come back, if Hugh comes back, let's say Deadpool 3 is terrible, which is almost in the best words of Vincini, inconceivable. Let's say Deadpool 3 is terrible. It doesn't take anything away from the ending of Logan. You go, sit down, and you watch Logan again, and it still ends where it ends. And it's still every bit of perfection that it was the first time you saw it. So I get what Feige was saying, guys. I totally do. And I think a lot of people agree with his sentiments, but I just personally don't think it's an issue. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to TryMiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Chris, you're hearing Kevin Feige, the producer, telling Hugh Jackman, hey, dude, maybe you shouldn't come back. Do you understand where he's coming from? Do you agree with him? Do you disagree with him? Like, how do you see it?
I totally understand where he's coming from, but it does feel like he's kind of negging him. Like, you don't even want to do this movie. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Because it is a beautiful send-off for the character. But whether you like it or not, Feige also ushered us into the multiverse era.
Yeah.
And so we already know this is not the same Wolverine. This is a slightly different one with slightly different circumstances and different parameters. So even if this movie just goes completely pear-shaped, if you are that kind of purist who can't separate characters and multiverses and everything, you're going to go, oh, well, that wasn't my Wolverine anyway. That's a totally different character, much like we already have the setup with Gamora. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not the Gamora that loved Star-Lord, so that doesn't have to be the Wolverine that I love as a fan. I do think it's a really smart way to introduce some other aspects that are in the comics that are going to make comic book fans happy. And obviously we get this wonderful buddy romp with these two guys who have the best time together and create some of the best content the internet has ever seen. So I can understand why he's doing it, but it does feel like a little odd. I mean, if you want to come be in this movie, I don't know if you want to. There's plenty of reasons not to. It's a good way to address fans' concerns, and either way, I'm really happy about him being here.
Yeah. You know what, Hugh? Who wants all the money and the fan love?
You don't want to work out again, buddy.
What was that commercial, insurance commercial, where they're like trying to talk to the lady saying, oh, so if I get this policy, but I'm not really sure. She goes, yeah, you don't, who wants all the extra money and
It's a progressive one.
That's it. It was progressive.
The one who just always like, you can save money, like the sign says. I love her.
She's great. So look, for me personally, I'm obviously overjoyed that we got Hugh Jackman coming back. And again, if Deadpool stinks, and it might, every movie coming out could be the greatest movie ever made, and every movie coming out could be the worst thing we've ever seen.
Can I just say I've never been more terrified of someone smiling at me than Kevin Feige?
Oh my God, right? Like, let's say I had a slight argument with that man, and I asked him, hey, Kevin, are we good? And he said, yeah, and looked at me with that smile. Yeah.
Is he going to replace Chucky? Is that what we're saying? The Feige doll?
I probably think I'm a dead man at that point. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think of Kevin Feige telling Hugh Jackman first, hey, Hugh, maybe you don't want to come back and do this. It was a perfect ending. Do you agree with him? Are you worried about that? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.